All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarasun Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarasun Seti YouTube page, a dynamic page. Y'all know what it is. Black Power, Black Frequency. You're feeling that frequency and energy. You should most definitely join. Link right down in the video description is in the chat. Click it, you get introduction video rundown on the membership, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarasun Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official general Sarasun Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. I got something for your family. Get on over there. Check out the catalog. Get you something nice. Get a discount. Shop and save, save and shop. That's right, family. Pull the fire alarm. GeneralSeti.com, Seti University. Over 1,500 videos and lecture, man. We got some, exclusive videos that's coming to GeneralSeti.com, Seti University. We got the most advanced library, General Seti videos, man, the old classic, the new classic. We got it all. We got all the subjects that you know and love. Egypt, Ethiopia. We got the Nile Valley. We got the Hindu Kush, the Naga Kushites. We got the Olmecs. We got the Black Woman is God. We got the Black Illuminati, Freemasonry, Christianity, Islam. We got the Grand Master teachers, occult science, alchemy. We got it all. You see, there's not another website on the planet that can compete. Become a member today, Seti University, GeneralSeti.com. Everybody knows Seti popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never come, man. Over 500 exclusive live streams. The popping his page on Patreon. We don't upload. We live stream straight to Patreon. You feel me? We do what no other motherfucker do out there. You understand? We don't upload shit. Yeah, after we do the live stream. So all our shit is fresh out the pack. And that's what you want, family. So get over there, become a patron, man. We got so much work over there. Man, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be like, God damn, this DJ made my day. Get over there, become a patron. General Seti Patreon. And to all the family donate to the general, I thank you. I appreciate the fact you appreciate me. Any of the family out there would like to donate to the hardworking general, the links is right there in the video description. Click it, donate. I thank you ahead of time. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. Now, here we go again, family. Motherfuckers seeing pyramids all over the planet. You see, and we have to look into this. You see, we are researchers. You see, we are historical explorers. You know what I'm saying? And we had to look into it because we know how powerful our people's is. But I'm always skeptical. You feel me? I stay skeptical. Because I know that 99%. I ain't gonna say 99, but a vast majority of history today is a bunch of bullshit. So if you're not skeptical, you'll be easily misled by a lot of this, alien, what's the ancient aliens type of information that's out here. And I'll take time to look even into that. You feel me? Because I know that half the story hasn't been told. You know what I'm saying? More than half of the story hasn't been told. And so, we have to look into, information. That's what it's about. So we are explorers and shit. And we put the shit on the table. We work it out. You see, and if it's true, then it'll stand. When we put it through this rigorous testing of, elite researchers, then and if it stand after the test of criticism, and then it's truth. That's what it's about. You see, and so they saying that they see a black pyramid in Alaska. You see, they say they see pyramids in Antarctica. And a lot of people assume that that some aliens got a base in damn And this is what they talk about, that some goddamn aliens, then landed in Antarctica and set up a goddamn base. And so this was the premise of the movie. What was it, Predator versus Alien and shit, and they up there, some ancient war and shit that been going on, and the predators is hunting the aliens and shit. I say, God damn, that was a cold-blooded motherfucking movie, though. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with the movie, but it's entertainment, And so, I had to look into what they is saying is a pyramid, which we looked at the one in Antarctica, and we're gonna look at this one too, which is supposedly in Alaska. Okay, now that one was the one in but where's the one in Alaska? I believe this the one. Wait a minute, I might have moved it all the way to the top. Here you go. Here you go, right here. Here you go, right here. Let me get it in here, family. Okay, so this is what they call in the Black Pyramid, and and so which is they know it's not a pyramid, but you could see where the science of the pyramid came from. We had to be clear about that. That the science of the pyramid came from the mountain regions of Africa. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get my let me get this other one up here so I can I can make this work for real. Let me see if I can, let me see if this the one. Let me see if this the one right here. Believe it is. Because I want to show y'all the elevation and, the mountains and whatnot. And let me see if this the one. I believe it is. But I had that one with the elevation, the maps with the elevation. And that's the one I really, there it go right there. There it go right there. There it go right there. So y'all can see, and this what you need. You see what I'm saying? This what you need. Now, so when you look at you see the green is you coming down in you see right here is Khartoum. You see what Khartoum is, and that's in the capital of Sudan. You see, so you see right there, it's almost at the 3,000 feet, from the Mediterranean. You talking about going up in altitude. You see what I'm saying? So now when you look at the Blue Nile, man, look how high up. You see what I'm saying? Look how high up it is, Lake Tana. You see the source of the Blue Nile. You see that's up there? That's like, what is it? It's in meters. It ain't even in feet. So that's 1820 meters. You see, and then you look at the White Nile, Victoria is up about 1136 meters. And so I believe that is meters. What is that? That's 5. What is that? Distance from the Mediterranean. Okay. So this is and so I don't know what is it from the Mediterranean. I don't know what is. I guess it's in meters too. I don't know if it's in. It can't be miles. It could be. I don't believe it is. I don't think 4,000 miles, but I don't know. I had to look into how many miles it is from the Mediterranean. But as you can see right here, how high up. And see, this is where they say that the Nile flowed down from the heavens. You see, this is what our people, in Egypt say, that the Nile flowed down from the heavens. And so you see that in the south was the mountain regions, and that Lake Tana, Lake Victoria, these are mountain lakes. The sources of the Blue Nile, the source of the White Nile is in high up in as far as elevation from where the Mediterranean is. And so being that this was the Tanetaru, the land of the gods and goddesses, and So, these mountain regions, and so they were duplicating. You see the Holy Land in Egypt, where it wasn't as many mountains, even though there is some mountain region. They ain't high up like these mountains, not at all. You go, you get in Ethiopia, man. It's like you in another another planet. You see, when you start flying over them mountains in Ethiopia, as you can see how high it's like you on another planet. You know what I'm saying? It's no other way for you to get to certain areas in Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? When you start talking about going into yeah, Lalabella and things of that nature. Yeah. Yeah, when you see the yeah, we just getting started. You ain't missed nothing. We'll run it over. But that red and blue, I don't know. They put that ain't really, significant. It ain't saying. But the blue is only to say that this is the blue Nile. The two branches were the two largest branches of the Nile. So but you see the elevation, how high up the river is. And so yeah, so this is where you get the concept of the pyramids, okay? Because they were duplicating. Let me see if I can, not armor. Let me see. Let me see if I can get the and then you got this right here too. Let me drop this topographical map. You know what I'm saying? When you drop that in there, and you see, this is the interior. This is actually Lake Victoria. You see, so when you look at this area right here, you got to understand that, this is in the mountains, and that the river is flowing down out of the mountains. You see, this is looked at as the Tanetaru, and so wait a minute, I want to be able to let me see. Let me see if I can get let me see if that pyramid. Let me see if I can get that map with the pyramids on it. You see, let me see if I can get that map. Where is that map at? Here it go right here. Bingo. Bingo. Here we go. Here we go. I don't play no games. I get busy. You see? Now, so when you look here, and you see to the left or to the west, on the west side of the Nile. This is where they put their cemeteries, you see, because this is the side, the sun set in the west, rose in the east, set in the west. So they put the burial, the tombs, the Valley of the Kings and all the funerary temples, and they put them on the west side of the Nile. And then on the east side of the Nile, this is where you find your temples and the things that didn't wasn't affiliated with death. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, so but when you look again, we look at right even around Lake Victoria and all down, you see volcanoes. So these are not just mountains; these are also volcanoes. And so this is where you get the pyramid, the house of fire. So they're not just volcanoes. Mountains. They're volcanoes. You see, mountains. You know what I'm saying? So this is the concept. So you can get an understanding how the geographical, topographical influence that Africa had on the architecture, on the spirituality. You could see that what they believed in was attached to the geographical markers of Africa, the zoo types, the mountains, the papyrus swamps, and so on and so forth. You see, and so this is where, this is why, and other people had, in different lands, they had mountains nonetheless, but none produced the type of structures that we see in Egypt, in Nubia. You see, they didn't do that. They didn't produce it. Okay, and so The thing is, having the know-how and having enough people with the know-how. Because when you talking about building pyramids, and you think about, imagine if a pyramid was in Alaska. You see, how many people do you think it would take to build something that large, man? You would have to import, man. You would have to import tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of workers. You see what I'm saying? Because you talking about it's taking 20, 30, 40 years, man, to build a megalithic pyramid. You ain't just gonna do that in no day or two. It's gonna take 30, 40 years, and then you got to think of the manpower. Even when you go downtown and you see them and they building like them skyscrapers, man, they got motherfuckers doing some of everything. You got motherfuckers pulling, they tearing shit up. You got motherfuckers taking it away. You got motherfuckers doing this, doing that. And so, yeah, when you look at a megalithic structure today, you know what I'm saying? It's thousands and thousands of workers on that on that site. And here it is, something that is far more megalithic and which is going to require far more manpower, because the less manpower you have, the longer it's going to take. And so when you're talking about building megalithic structures like the ones in Egypt, you talking about literally, man, 30, 40,000 workers. You see, you talking about 2 million stones, and the least of the stones weighing 5 tons, and some of them weighing up to 100 tons. And you talking about 2 million stones, man. You can't be out there with no few tools and fuse. You have to have tens of thousands of workers on a site like that. So and then you got to understand what level of education each, you ain't just out there building just pulling stones. That's not what it is. These ain't brutes, because they got technology that's helping them. Because it's gonna be a lot of backs broke if you gonna do it like that. If you gonna motherfucking, you gonna have a lot of backs broke. You see, you're gonna have a lot of backs broke if you just gonna use brute strength. And so, so the level of skills tradesmen that was out there, yeah. Yeah, and so, yeah, so you, of course, this is it boils down to the level of education that these guys, because you couldn't even be a Mason unless you had went through the Egyptian mystery system. You see what I'm saying? That's how it was. You had to learn over 12 subjects to go through the Egyptian mystery system, and then you would take on whatever major that was you was responsible for. You know what I'm saying? And so so everybody out there had a certain level of education, and that they had geometry, they knew mathematics, they knew all the tools of the mason, the compass, the square, the level, the plumb line. They knew how, a lot of them knew how to square the stones, and you see when them smooth the stones out. When I was at Giza, you could see where they had, they had like, it's almost like, it's not a cookie cutter, but it's damn near. They had the size of the blocks already in the ground, where you could just put the stone on there, and you cut it to measurement. You still got to square it and everything and smooth it out, and and make sure that it's measured and that it's leveled and things of that nature. But all them laborers out there were skilled in all types of masonry, engineering, and skills in architecture. So when you just see a pyramid, you can't act like, especially if it's a megalithic structure, and the structures that they trying to show us, these would be megalithic structure. You would have to import tens of thousands of workers in there to build something on that level. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, and if that was so, it would have been well documented, because there's no way you gonna move tens of thousands of people without documentation. That just, the one thing about Egypt, they documented every damn thing. That's just what it is. It's nowhere, it's no building that you can go to in Egypt and not find writing all over the building. It's no, I don't give a goddamn if it was a sarcophagus. You see what I'm saying? They wrote all over that. You see, I don't give a goddamn. They wrote on the jewelry. They wrote on any and every goddamn thing. They was the most documented culture in the history of mankind. So anything, and it even, they drew it, they carved it in some temples or this, that, and the third. And so, they documented when they went to Punt, which was Somaliland. And they documented when they went into Nubia, and they left evidence. It's not just they went there and just left. They even when they went into Punt, they came back with certain animals and certain trees that, was unique to that area, unique to that territory. So the evidence is, undisputable. It's undisputable, and the evidence is also in the documentation. Hatshepsut went to Punt, and she documented that voyage on her funerary temple, El Badari, I believe that was the name of that that temple, that funerary, and she recorded, and she had just tons of carvings showing the trees and the animals that they brought back, giraffes and so on and so forth. And so, yeah. And so, for, our people to go, because the one thing about when you talk about the pyramids, it's only one nation in two nations in the world that ever created the true pyramid. And we got to quit, because see, when we say these things, you know what I'm saying, we diminish the level of ingenuity that it takes to reach that level. There is only one continent that ever built the true pyramid, and that's Africa. Everything else is really not a pyramid. Okay, when you know geometry and you understand what a triangle is, and it ain't a mound is not a goddamn a pyramid. You see what I'm saying? So when you stay true to geometry on what a triangle is, it's smooth on all sides. Is I believe is if I'm not mistaken, it's about 4 lines, and you know what I'm saying, that come to a point. You know what I'm saying? And, down to a square, which is the base. And that's what a pyramid is. And so when you look, even a step pyramid, and a lot of people say that, that even Saqqara, Zoser pyramid is really a which I said, you heard it from General Seti. I said it so that I could take motherfuckers out of the context of trying to say that a pyramid is somewhere else. Is no pyramid other than Africa. Nobody ever reached that level of ingenuity. That when you talk about the true pyramid and what a triangle is, you know what I'm saying? And pi, you're not gonna find pi in no damn mound. You see, you're not gonna find pi in a mound. Okay, so let's be clear about that. You see, so a step, yeah. So the what they call the Zoser pyramid is actually a multi-level mastaba. That's what I call it. You see, that's what I called it. I coined that. It's a multi-level mastaba because it is not smooth on all sides, and it does not raise from its base to a point. It don't do that. Okay, and it's not smooth on all sides. So but they understood that. They understood. That's why even after Zosia, they kept evolving because they understood that. So, we give credit to Imhotep because he was the one that put in the most work as far as moving towards the true pyramid. He gave them the model, and they basically used his model and Seneferu was the first one that developed the true pyramid, which was the red pyramid. And but there was failures, with the bent pyramid. There was failures with right after the step pyramid of Saqqara. You had the pyramid of Meidum, which a lot of people say Pepi II started that pyramid, but a lot of people believe that Seneferu, which Sneferu is the first king of the fourth dynasty. You see, in the fourth dynasty starts somewhere around 2500 BC. You see, about 2500 BC. And so he was the first king of the fourth dynasty, I believe. And Zosia was the last. I believe he was close to being the last king of the third dynasty. I believe he was. And then Seneferu was the first, I believe it was that way. No, he couldn't have been because Pepi was in there somewhere. You see what I'm saying? Pepi was in there somewhere. But I had to get back in there, but it's somewhere in there, But anyway, you can see that there was failures before they got to the true pyramid, but ultimately they was working up. Yeah, the Great Pyramid has 8 sides. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, when you look at it. Yeah, because it's split. It's split, when you know what I'm saying. But a lot of people don't see that, that it's split in the middle, But if you look from the top, you will see the lines in there that it is 8 sides. You know what I'm saying? But that's for the trained eye that know. But you got to literally see it from the top. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's the solstices or whatever, where it lights up, where you can see the lines going down the middle. You know what I'm saying? Where it is 8 sides. But, you know what I'm saying? But, so the thing is, when we talking about pyramids, and what they doing is they trying to cause disruption. Really what they doing, this is which is clearly a mountain. This is what they calling the Black Pyramid of Alaska. And you can see it's not smooth on all sides and shit and this, that, and the third. When you see it, but this is the type of controversy that they want to put out there. And a lot of people go with it because what they trying to do is they trying to push this alien origin and so on and so forth. And you have to understand, that, that's why when you look at and you study the spirituality of Egypt, is so connected to the terrain, the zoo types. You see what I'm saying? It's totally connected. It's an indigenous belief system. It's nothing that you could say all the zoo types are indigenous to Africa. Usually, like, when you studying, say for instance, the Greeks, no matter where they went, no matter the Romans, no matter where they went, they built colosseums wherever they went. You see what I'm saying? Even in Africa, they got some colosseums, even in Africa. I believe it's in Carthage. They got colosseums where so when the people go somewhere, they they bring their culture with them. It's not hard to identify, what they brought with them because it's unique to where they came from. You see what I'm saying? People's always going to bring something with them when they come, especially, unless they barbaric, unless they barbaric. Shit, when you look at how Rome borrowed from Greece, they too European, but you can see that the shit was so much alike, it's hard to tell Zeus from Jupiter and so on and so forth. They so much alike. You know what I'm saying? So when people go somewhere, you go, and that's why when they came into Africa, they created that Serapis shit. You could tell Serapis from the Africans. You see what I'm saying? You could tell the Serapis from the African deities. It's not hard to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, so all this alien shit that they talking about is bullshit, because when you break it down, the topographical origins, you know what I'm saying? The zoo types, the terrain that was so much a part of they everyday living, the River Nile and all of that. It was so intricately placed into their spirituality that is totally indigenous. Has nothing to do with no outer space shit or none of that. But this is what they trying to do by saying they finding pyramids in Alaska, they finding pyramids in Antarctica, and you got niggas out there that spitting that shit like them niggas are over there, ancient aliens and shit. They making a lot of money off of that. Now listen to me. It's interesting, but I have no problem in, tightening their ass up when it get down to the get down. You see, people's like mythology, and all mythology is not some made up shit. That is the truth in it, and then they got their characters that they use to display the truth, but it's not all bullshit. That alien shit is all bullshit. You see what I'm saying? They using symbols though that that's you can see on the planet that's real, but the origin of some motherfucking Anunnakis and shit and this, that, and the third coming to the earth and giving man a knowledge when you could see the development of the knowledge. They didn't come down here and give them shit because you could see where they was failing with the shit. If the Anunnaki, why would they be failing? You gonna come down here and give a motherfucker and they failing with it and shit, this, that, and the third. They going through the trials and errors, you see, and it's taking a period of time for them to develop the knowledge, you see, and you can, and you see the failures and you see them get better with it. It's all in the African ingenuity. And so, yeah, we got to stop, like I say, it's entertaining when motherfucker, I watch Ancient Aliens. I like to listen to a lot of the occult motherfuckers, and because it is they got a premise. Some of them got a premise as far like time and chronology and shit that you had to take into consideration. But we, all our teachers have already said that Egypt and Africa is far older than the chronology of white people. So a lot of that has already been spoken about. Yeah, yeah, that with Egypt. I mean, Egypt come right out of Nubia. You see, and really, what we say is Nile Valley civilization, because all of them were uniquely tied to the Nile River. You see what I'm saying? They were all uniquely tied to the Nile River. And from the beginning to the end, everything on that river is uniquely tied together. You understand? And that's the reality of it. And then not only was they everyday lifestyle tied to the geography, even they heaven was, tied to the, that the river flowed out of heaven. You see what I'm saying? That the Milky Way, so shit. I mean, and they have been studying that for hundreds of thousands of years. So the spirituality and cosmology of ancient the Nile Valley, and not just the Nile Valley, the interior of Africa, is hundreds of thousands of years. So, it's no way that you can say that no aliens is coming when the goddamn science is so ancient. You see what I'm saying? It's ancient. This ain't no fly by night shit. This ain't no shit that just happened 2 days ago. You see what I'm saying? And so a lot of times when we talk about the Anunnakis and shit, I understand what they doing. You know what I'm saying? But, people got to understand when some shit is, esoterical, meaning, yes, when they say, they came from outer space and this, that, and the third, you got to understand that's esoterical. They understand ain't nothing coming but in the essence of where we came, we came down from the heavens, because what is in us is also out there. You see, everything that you see in outer space is in us. You see, and so and because the Nile River is so intricately synchronized to many stars and constellations, that even when the star Sirius rose, they knew the flood was coming. You see what I'm saying? And so when the Sirius rose, they knew to get their harvest out of the ground. You see, they knew to get their harvest out of the ground, because that would be disastrous for them not to get the harvest out the ground. So that's how intricately that even the constellations, and so what they did, certain stars like that, and constellations that rose in very critical times. You see what I'm saying? Planning and farming and shit like that. And so they would create stories. You know what I'm saying? They would take them stars and they would create stories. And this was like remembrance. You know what I'm saying? Always to remember that these times is coming. You know what I'm saying? To do this at this time, and to do this at that time. And they would create stories and shit that they would tell to their children and to each other every day, all day. They would become famous, stories. And so this was to keep their minds prepared for special times like that. So when you talking about God's coming down from the planet, out the stars, and this, that, and this is what I'm talking about. These are the esoterical stories that they would create so that they would remember these special times. But ain't no God ever came down and did it in front of the whole world. I don't give a fuck what God it is. You see what I'm saying? I don't give a goddamn what religion. God is God, and it's a esoterical understanding that people have, and they really know that it's not anything that's coming down. They know that. You see what I'm saying? If they do believe it, they know different than any other religious nigga even today. You see what I'm saying? Because when has it happened? When did they? If they did, it wasn't in our consciousness. That something came down to the earth. It's no different than anything a Christian, a Muslim, or anything else could say. And until that day when they return and show and prove to the world at one time that they are out there, that story is no different than anything else that, as far as any other religion. But I believe, and as I understand, our people understood it was esoterical. They didn't actually believe that, it's a goddamn cow sitting up in the Milky Way and shit. Even though they put the cow up there, they understood the premise of what it was, and they put Osiris in Orion, and they put Isis in the dog star. What they call it, what is that constellation? Canis Major or something like that. You see? Yeah. But that's all. But we're gonna move on, family. And so is there a pyramid in Alaska? It's another hoax. It's another hoax. Just like the ones that's down there supposedly been in yeah. I'm gonna show y'all tonight where that Anunnaki. I'm gonna get back on it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show you what the Anunnakis is and shit. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what it is, and we're gonna build on it, because I see, that they continuing to, and not, and if you're gonna do it, do it. I'm not mad at motherfuckers that won't talk about the Anunnaki, but niggas, say what it is. Say it's esoterical knowledge that you. Now let's break this shit down so we can see that it's us. That we the damn Anunnakis, nigga. We the motherfucking Anunnakis, nigga. And what we saying that they descended from the stars is only saying, yes, that we are the primordial beings on the earth. We are the manifestation of the universe in the flesh. And when this world came to be, and everything that you see in the universe was, first created. We was the semblance of life on the planet. We was the primordial example of life on the planet, that we came into existence with creation, and that we are a part of creation. Creation is a part of us, and that's our understanding. It's an esoterical understanding, but ain't nothing coming to this. And if it do, goddamn it, you know what I'm saying, we'll be waiting on it. But until then, it stands that, I have never seen, and as far as I know, the world hasn't seen anything happen like that all at once. Now, if a motherfucker was somewhere hiding in a cornfield, some goddamn where, and it just came to 2 months, you get 2 and 3 motherfuckers that conjure up stories because they think they're gonna get some paper. Motherfucker, land at the Super Bowl, man. Land at the motherfucking Super Bowl, nigga, at halftime, nigga, in front of 40 million people. Do some shit like that. That's what I'm talking about. Prove it to the world. And that event has never happened. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand statistics and I understand mathematics. And I understand that if it's possible, it at least gonna happen one time. If it's possible. If the concept is even possible, it should be at least, even if it's, every so often, every 1,000 years, even goddamn Haley's comet come around every 75 motherfucking years. You understand what I'm saying? So if it's possible, it's going to at least happen once. You see, twice. And so the question becomes, why haven't these motherfuckers land in front of a mass majority of people? I'll be waiting on the motherfucking answer, family. All right. And so let's move on to let's move on. You say Billy Carson. Yeah, yeah, I mean, he love, it's a money, it's a market for, esoterical shit, man. It just is. You know what I'm saying? It just is, and it always will be. And so, but just as you got, those that deal with the occult, and they don't balance the scales and shit. And there's nothing wrong with the occult sciences. I teach occult too, but you got to balance it. You got to also, you can't be so far that you willing to, you lose the people in mysteries and goddamn fables and shit and this, that, and you don't ground them and let them, and lead them to an understanding of what it really is on the planet, so they don't become lost and shit in goddamn tales and fairy tales and shit like that. So yeah, you teach the occult, you teach the esoterical, but you always keep them rooted in what this shit is really about right here on this planet. Or you just trying to, you trying to do what everybody else, you trying to confuse the logic of the people and have them lost in shit, and when time comes for them to really, look, have a serious answer to situations on the ground, they looking up in the goddamn sky. You see what I'm saying? Looking for a motherfucker to come down in a goddamn a goddamn spaceship when the answer is in them right here on this planet. So family, listen, I got a hot one coming right behind me, and we're gonna deal with the Nephilim. I don't want y'all to go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere. Come right back. I want y'all to hit some of them links. I want y'all to support the general. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.